We've got the hottest economy anywhere in the world.
There's a chill wind threatening President Trump's hot economy, his own trade policies.
Dropping a tariff bomb on Mexico.
From 5% to 10% to 15% to 20% and then to 25%.
China will slap more tariffs on goods made here in the United States. Folks, this is what a trade war looks like.
In the past few weeks, we've gone from a relatively sunny outlook, the prospect of a potential deal with China, and hopes for Congress to ratify the new NAFTA, to the prospect of a trade war on two fronts. So while most economists agree the U.S. economy is relatively strong, forecasts are starting to darken. Morgan Stanley says if no deal is reached with China, there could be a global recession in less than a year. Gregory Dacre led another recent survey of U.S. business leaders. They forecast a 60% chance of a recession in 2020.
If we have tariffs applied on all imports from China, which includes a lot of consumer goods, then you would start to see much larger effects on the U.S. economy. You could think of a loss of about 0.5 in terms of GDP growth.
Economists say once the tariffs trickle down to the consumer, the risks multiply. Consumer spending is about 2/3 of U.S. GDP.
When you get into the 25% category, if you're a U.S. importer, there's no way to ameliorate that type of effect through administrative effects or structural changes to your supply chain. You're going to have to pass those prices on to consumers.
An actual escalation in tariffs isn't the only reason to forecast gloom. There's another cloud on the horizon here, uncertainty itself.
That's the biggest fear, I think, right now for the U.S. economy, is that we talk ourselves into a recession.
Fear has already caused stock market volatility, and that could get worse. In another gloomy forecast, Bank of America just cut its outlook for corporate earnings by 1.2% because of renewed trade tensions.
If businesses are pulling back on investment, deciding to delay investment plans, then that in itself leads to reduced activity and in turn leads to reduced GDP growth.
Now, the big picture here is that last year, when President Trump started imposing tariffs, this was a much brighter economic climate. Now, global growth is slowing, the effect of his tax cuts are waning, and if you add a trade war into this wintry mix, well, it may be too late to avoid getting wet. Claire Sebastian, CNN, New York.